Hello, everybody, and welcome to Book It Vince, the dream match podcast on the internet. I'm one of your hosts, Martin Bennett, and with me, as always, is the genius of the sky, Anthony Hall.
Oh, yeah, that's me, the genius of the sky. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I wasn't ready for that one.
What? Oh, shit. What?
I was not ready for that. You didn't even know I was going to say genius of the sky.
No, I just like have this like page kind of queued up, and it just so happened that there was a pilot one right as you said, genius of the sky.
Wow.
So that worked out perfectly.
We're audio listeners, just tune into the beginning of the episodes just so you can see what Anthony does with these filters. But anyways, nice. Love it. Is that supposed to be what's his name? What's his name? Pharrell Williams? Is that supposed to be Pharrell?
No, it just says cowboy.
Interesting.
So,
I've never seen cowboys wear
those glasses,
golden colored glasses like that.
This one's a better cowboy one. It's rancher technically, but is it even working? It's not even. It's not even loading.
Anyways, welcome to the podcast, where here at UnknownError on Book It Vince, we plan, book. Very nice. I like it. Nice square chin jaw. Where we book every week, we book a dream match that we come up with. Sometimes we have special guests on who bring in their dream matches, and then we come up with the feud, the storyline, and all the little details that would happen in these matches that could possibly happen, or are two people that will never encounter each other, and what could have been if they did. It's Anthony's turn this week to challenge me to a match. Anthony, who you got?
Okay, so I foreshadowed this in last week's episode with my match recommendation. So we are going to be booking a dream match between Mickie James and Rhea Ripley.
Oh, interesting.
And my caveat is
pretty good.
That it's Mickie James present, like this happens in the present, and we are giving Mickie James kind of her final run, but it's in NXT.
Oh, that would be pretty interesting, because now, at the time of recording, it's kind of like, actually when this episode comes out, we actually don't know what will happen. At the time of recording, War Games 2020 is about to happen, and
like in 2 days, or 2 days,
and we don't know what is going to happen with it, with Rhea Ripley being in it. There's this tease of that she's gonna leave NXT, that she's gonna go to the main roster, but I think you look back at NXT, and like Rhea Ripley has been like the dominant like women's like persona for this generation of NXT. And
I'd say her and Io Shirai probably would take that,
and Candice LeRae, I'd say.
Yeah,
like the three of them have been brilliant.
Yeah, and Shayna, before she came to the main roster, was running the show down there too.
Yeah. So, but I think that I honestly personally think that Rhea should just stay. I understand it might be like, she's young. She's definitely got a lot more years than her, and staying in NXT may not be the best thing for her career. Like moving on, probably it will be better. But, she definitely defined the black and gold brand. So, Mickie James coming down to NXT. What could be the caveat? What could be the driving force for that?
And I think Mickie James is a heel.
Mickie James was always good going back and forth between a heel and face. But I think heel, the like, what is it? The persona of like, you think you're hot shit, respect your elders. I've been here for a long time. I've still got what it takes. I'll show you, young whippersnapper.
That's like pretty much what she's done, like time and time again, coming back, like doing that. But I think like this final run is like there is no women's division that she hasn't wrestled in except for, I guess, the NXT one, right? Like and the amount of young talent and the people that she can wrestle as we build up this feud is also something that's really enticing for me. I think like, yeah, she could have amazing matches with like Io and even like Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae and Dakota Kai. And like, there's just a lot of people in the NXT women's division right now that are really good. And I think like Mickie James can still go. And it's like, yeah, the possibilities are endless.
I'm just looking up really quickly Mickie James versus Beth Phoenix.
Oh.
And they have had they had a long rivalry. I remember them having a long rivalry.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine, and actually when you look up Mickie James versus Beth Phoenix, the first thing that comes up is their match at Armageddon 2007, which I remember. And wouldn't it be interesting if something that kind of sparks the flame, maybe? It can either spark the flame or be the last straw. I think sparking the flame is better, because imagine if Mickie James comes down and gets into it with, like, kind of comes down to kind of scout the talent. Maybe it's not clear that she wants to fight anyone. She's just down there. It's like, WWE legend Mickie James is coming to NXT, because they always hype those big moments and whatnot.
Or should it be a surprise? Because, like, that's fun, too. I remember I saw her wrestle Asuka, I think, at NXT TakeOver Toronto, and I was, like, super hyped to see her. Yeah, it was like...
Oh, cool. I didn't know she did that. That's awesome.
I'm pretty sure it was Asuka. And I was just like, oh man, Mickie James, like, she still got it. Like, yeah, she can really still go.
So then, yeah, it could be surprise. Basically what I was saying is, could it be a thing of Rhea gets involved because Mickie attacks Beth? And like, kind of it's like stokes the flames there, and then they could have a tag team match where Dakota Kai teams up with Mickie James against Rhea Ripley and Beth Phoenix. And it's like kind of like Beth like coming out of retirement just to spite Mickie James one last time, but then Mickie James and Dakota Kai kind of go over, and then this leads to maybe then like they like really hurt Beth, you know, kayfabe wise, and then that leads to Rhea going on a one-on-one match with Mickie James to kind of defend Beth's honor and also just prove like this is our home and you're coming in here, and like I'll do whatever it takes to drag you out of here. I'm just thinking that like being like kind of like the like emotional caveat to the story, because it's like, because I'm trying to think of like what is it about. It could be something simple as Rhea being like, you're not from here, get out, you're calling all of us crappy wrestlers, we're really good wrestlers, blah blah, fight. But it's like, what emotion would cause Rhea Ripley to be like, no, I'm defending NXT?
Okay, well, I think in this kayfabe world, this fantasy book and Vince world, I want Rhea Ripley to be the champion for this storyline. I know we do a lot of championship storylines, but in this instance, I want Mickie James to have like a last run as the champion. Right. So I think it's either she gets the championship and maybe loses it to Rhea in our main event, or that she goes over in the main event and then it starts like her final little run here. You
want Mickie to be NXT champion?
Yes.
Okay.
I want Mickie to win the NXT championship. I want her to have a title run, but like maybe that's the end of the feud, the middle of the feud. Who knows? Like, I just think that she deserves one last like title run.
I think it'd be middle of the feud.
Okay.
Because it's not anything wrong with having like championships runs where it's literally like you win it, you hold it for a month, and then it's all about the champion winning it back. I mean, at the time of recording this, that's literally what Drew McIntyre just did. It was mostly just to give Randy another number.
Main roster is different when it comes to booking.
Yeah,
they book wildly, just like us, but like wildly.
But that's the thing is we're giving it to Mickie just to have it be another accomplishment. But like it's a big thing because it's having a legend come down to NXT and be there and be in a feud with one of the top female stars of NXT.
Yeah,
and it's this thing of taking the belt. Oh my God, Mickie James is the NXT champion. Now Rhea's trying to win her title back. And then like that can lead into like a really gruesome match where it's like Rhea gets it back and it's a sign of respect or something. But
yeah,
I think then if it's that, it's got to be that Rhea has beaten, I always keep saying the name wrong. Rhea has beaten everyone and needs a new challenge. And then that's where it can be surprise Mickie James.
Yeah. Or should it be that like whomever is the champion, say it's okay, so if it's like real life, it's like Io Shirai is the champion and there isn't anybody in NXT that hasn't had a shot already, and then Mickie James just comes in and wins it off of her, and then the feud actually is like Mickie James's like final championship run, and then Rhea Ripley is the one that takes it off of her.
Yeah, could do that. It'd be pretty crazy to have Io Shirai be beaten by Mickie James. That'd be
Because let's say like,
you know what? Let's do this.
Okay.
Elimination Chamber.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Wouldn't that be great? Elimination Chamber, NXT Women's Championship. Mystery opponent. You have Io Shirai.
Yeah.
Defending her belt. Because she's held it for so long. And she's beaten everyone countless times.
Yeah.
You have Rhea Ripley.
Yeah.
You have Dakota Kai.
Yeah.
You have Candice LeRae. You have...
How many people? 6?
Yeah. You have...
Shotzi? No. Maybe?
Yeah, Shotzi.
Shotzi?
And then one mystery.
How
Mickie
can you
James.
Yeah, but how can you do the mystery? I guess you wouldn't reveal who it is until the day of the event, right? And then the last person coming into the chamber, you would like, the music would hit. It'd be like, pop, 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 whatever.
Yeah. I mean, you would just have, you would have, what's it called? Qualifying matches on NXT building up to this match. And obviously then that's where Shotzi beats Raquel Gonzalez. You have Dakota Kai beating Katie Catanzaro. You know, you have that
Casey
sort of
Catanzaro.
thing.
Yeah.
Casey Catanzaro, sorry. And you just have those kind of matches. So that's these final, like these 4, and then there's this open spot, or it's someone gets it and then gets injured, was attacked.
Oh no, we can't do another attacks.
I mean, it's a logical thing to do. It's like that would make good heel heat for Mickie James, so she takes it someone's favorite.
Maybe it's Ember Moon, because Ember Moon maybe is supposed to be the 6th, but is unable to compete because of an injury that has been sustained. Maybe a backstage attack or in a match or something like that. We'll kayfabe it in there some way, somehow. And it's like, okay, so we need...
that then lines up a good rivalry between Ember Moon and Mickie James. That builds within her run. Yeah. That's great. Okay.
It's
just so wild that then it's like, who would then William Regal, the general manager of NXT, then ask? I mean, that could then get revealed in like the promo after she wins or something the next week on NXT. Anthony, did you freeze? Oh,
we lost him.
Oh, we're back.
Okay, so what were you saying? You were like, who would William Regal pick?
Yeah, it's just funny that then it's like, it's Mickie James. What the hell?
Yeah. Well,
and it could then be Mickie James then comes in is like, I made William Regal a deal, an offer that he couldn't refuse. To imagine what would happen as Mickie James coming to NXT and that's where it can be like show the heel like nature of Mickie James being like, I am here to elevate this women's division. I'm here to I said, because maybe we can show her being kind of like around before that. It would be a weird, wild surprise. And then it's like, how do you explain that? And it's like, she obviously attacked Ember Moon. But then it's like the offer to William Regal to say, put me in the match. It would make it a lot bigger, a lot better. Imagine me coming to NXT. Like it's that sort of thing of like, you need my star power.
I think that should be like retroactively shown after she does the Elimination Chamber match and wins, because I think the surprise is like is important. Like, though, like the explaining it,
because I guess it can be
also important.
Yeah,
it can be explained later.
Yeah, I guess it can be earlier in the show. You have a moment where you show backstage, Ember Moon's hurt. Oh no! And then like midway through the show is an interview with William Regal of like, is anyone going to take Ember Moon's place in the Elimination Chamber? Yeah. And that's what. And then it's like, I have an idea. I'm just finalizing. I'm finalizing the decision. But there will be a 6th competitor in tonight's Elimination Chamber. And then it's like, boom, Mickie James. And you're like, what? And you hear, and then you hear, I'd still want to have Wade Barrett on commentary where he's like, it's Mickie James.
It's Mickie James.
Yeah. And then that's where who's the main guy that's on NXT commentary right now? I always forget his name.
Vance Joseph?
Yeah.
It's Vance, Beth, and Wade Barrett.
And he's like, Beth, you've had a long history with Mickie James before, and she's like, Mickie James, no one to joke about. Like, this could be huge. These women are competing against a legend in the ring, and she's like hyping Beth up, and then it's like, or she's hyping Mickie up, and then it's like, I think then you have like, I think you have Mickie James enter in last.
Yes, you have to,
and it's but the question is, do you have the final two being Mickie and Io or Mickie and someone else?
I think it has to be Mickie and Io, but I think Mickie has to eliminate Rhea Ripley in the Elimination Chamber match.
Okay.
But like not I don't want to say not clean.
Well,
But,
the question is then, because if she suddenly appears, everybody's going to be like, "Oh yay, legend Mickie," and like think she's a face. And you have to have the moment in this match where it's like, Mickey's bad.
Yeah, so she has to cheat somehow. I think it has to be
Which is
like
hard to do in a match where there's no rules.
Yeah, but it's like maybe. Yeah, okay, let's think about who the heels are again in this match. There's literally like only one heel.
No, there's two. Well, there's two like standout ones. It's Candice and
Dakota Kai.
Dakota Kai, yeah. And so then technically Mickie would be the third. So it's even. But we don't know that yet. And it could be a thing. It could be it could be a thing of like it gets down to this point of like let's see. So say like Rhea Ripley eliminates Rhea Ripley eliminates Shotzi.
Yeah, sure.
Because they like have an even bout and like it's just this whole thing and like she gets it. Cool. Just because it's obviously like everybody's behind her trying to win it back again.
I think
like have her face EO in the final two because it's like everybody loves Rhea. And she's also the powerhouse of this group.
Yeah, because Raquel is not in this match, right?
Yeah. And then you have so then it's Rhea versus Candice and Dakota, and Rhea manages to eliminate one of them or stays in long enough. They all stay in long enough where it looks as though, or then finally Mickie can come out, and it looks like Mickey's going to team with Rhea, right?
Yeah.
But then, and it's like standing 2v2, and they're staring at each other down, and it's Candice and Dakota versus Rhea and Mickie, and then Mickie chick kicks Rhea right in the side of the face, kind of like when Shawn super kicked Undertaker out of nowhere and just like stands over him, just looks down, and then you have Candice and Dakota just like in shock, and then Mickie just pins
Rhea
Ripley. And everybody's in shock, and so then you have the three heels now versus Io. Io then manages to get rid of Dakota, Candice, and then it's the two of them standing there, and everybody's kind of like, "What the hell just happened in this match?"
I think then the order would be like Io eliminates like Dakota Kai, and then Mickie will eliminate like Candice, because it's like, even though they're heels and they're working together, like she wants to win, so she would immediately push like Candice aside or something and eliminate her. So then it's Io versus Mickie as the final two in the Elimination Chamber.
And then Mickie beats her.
Yeah.
With her, what's her other finisher?
Mickie DT.
What is that again?
It's like a jumping implant DDT. It's like she like jumps up and kind of like spikes the person down.
Spikes them, yeah, okay.
It's pretty awesome, you know. And she also does like the Stratisfaction or
what if she did that outside? Oh wait, right.
Elimination Chamber.
Yeah. What if she does that No, I was gonna say not in the ring, because you can fight where the pods are.
Oh, like on the grate?
On the grate, yeah. I know though in the women's matches they cover the grates with padding.
Not in NXT, baby.
But imagine it's on that and like a spike DDT. A Mickie DT.
Mickie DT.
Onto that, and it's just like shock. Covers
it would be a
Io.
shock. It would be a shock. It would be a huge shock for everybody, because like you think like, oh, Mickie James is just here for like a Legends appearance.
Then you don't have,
yeah.
Gets the advantage. Boom. It's like ends the reign of Io Shirai as NXT Women's Champion, and Mickie James is now NXT Women's Champion.
Yeah, so Mickie James goes into NXT TV the following week and is confronted by the competitor that she replaced, Ember Moon.
What if? No, I think that's good. I think that's good. Well, are we revealing that she did it? Or is Ember Moon coming in and being like, I know who attacked me. It was you. Like that sort of thing? Okay.
Yeah. It's like sorry to interrupt your celebration, Mickie. Much respect to you, but I know who attacked me before the Elimination Chamber match, and it was you. And then push shove. And it's like, and then maybe we can hear why Mickie James is in NXT and why this title run is important for her, and it has to be a bit heelish.
I think that Mickie James definitely has to come out, and everybody's kind of like not too sure if they should cheer or boo just because of like what she did in the match, and then that's where she can be like, I made an offer to William Regal that I would come down to NXT, that I was there at TakeOver or at Elimination Chamber. They needed someone, and I've never been here to compete. And she's like trying to play the face. Like it's kind of like she's like on the fence of like, should we trust her? Should we believe her? I don't know. And then that's where it's like, I know the truth. And then they fight or whatever.
Yeah, she has to like say stuff about like, there's so many incredibly talented women in this division. I knew that I had to come down here to compete because I haven't had the chance to. And it's like,
and it's this smug sort of thing. It's like, and in my first match, I have added to my accolades.
Yeah, that's pretty cocky. Yeah, it's like, and I didn't expect it, but in my first match, I came out on top and immediately became the best woman in this division. And that's when Ember Moon's music will hit. She comes out. She's in her like crazy motorcycle gear now or whatever she has, and then she comes up and it's like
and it can be this thing of like, I respected you.
Yeah.
And you're lying to all these people, and she's like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Exactly. And she Mickie James has this like country kind of like a little bit of a gimmick to her as well, because she is a country singer, of course. Gotta remember that. So she's like, don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I haven't the slightest clue what you mean. And then it's just like, you attacked me, and that's why I wasn't able to compete in the Elimination Chamber match in the first ever NXT takeover Elimination Chamber match.
And it's like, do you even have any proof or whatever? And it's just this thing of Mickie like being like, I have no clue what you're talking about. I wouldn't do anything of the sorts. And then Ember Moon just gets fed up and just goes in and tries to attack her and get revenge.
Yeah. And that leads to, I think, some like the following week, Mickie puts up her title against Ember Moon because she's a fighting champion. That's going to be a important thing, I think, is just she's a fighting champion.
Then in that match, and this can be like kind of like the shit, the cocky heel thing of later. There's a promo or something backstage where it's like interviewing Mickie James, and she's like, you know what? If Ember Moon's so sure that she thinks she knows who attacked her, I can't convince her that it still wasn't me. But if she's so fired up and thinks that she deserves a chance at this title, then I'll give it to her because I want to prove, I'm a fighting champion. But then in that match, that's where it's like the heel Mickie comes out and she attacks like maybe it's like the arm or neck or something that was attacked and she is bandaged up or something. And Mickie James like hones in on that. And then she beats her. And then at the end of that match or something, she's like, I'm just thinking of, it's me, Austin. It was me all along. And it's Mickie James being like, it was me, Ember. You were right.
I like want to see like a really, I wonder if this is a spot that's possible where it's like Ember Moon is setting up for the Eclipse and she like goes into doing this like the stunner, and then Mickie just like mid kicks like her like mid air, I guess. Like she would be like flipping into it, right? And then she just like kicks her. Like that would be pretty devastating.
Yeah, because with the Eclipse, it's does like a handspring flip and is going to then go into the sit down position and grab their
With the
head.
stunner, yeah.
So she could be flipping down into it and then not grab Mickie's head. Instead, Mickie kicks.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
and just like knocks her out of the air, kind of a thing.
Yeah, just like flattens her, and then that protects the other finisher, like the Mickie DT a little bit as well, because then it's like, oh, she didn't even have to use to be Ember Moon. She just like kicked her like in the head, and it's just like and then pins her, and it's like, oh my god, like Mickie James is for real this time.
Yeah. Do we then have it so that Mickie does like reveal or kind of has that kind of heelish turn of like maybe she then like grabs a chair or something and like attacks that area,
the arm shoulder or something? Yeah, of course. Yeah, definitely, because then it gives us an excuse to like have Ember Moon go away for a while and she can come back in later. But like that doesn't matter. Yeah.
So I really want to do this Beth Phoenix and Mickie James spot. Here's two options I have that I've thought of.
Okay.
Yes. First one, that Mickie goes on a run of like beating a bunch of people, doesn't beat Rhea just yet or at all, but then Rhea comes out. Maybe Mickie does a promo or something. This is like way later after she's like beaten a couple of people. And Mickie says like, I've beaten everybody in this division since I've been here. I'm the queen of NXT, or like I'm the best of NXT right now. And then Rhea's like, there's one person that you haven't beat, and Mickie can be like, oh, who? You, Rhea? And then Rhea's like, no. Turns towards commentary and points at Beth Phoenix and be like, you haven't beaten Beth yet.
That's pretty good, actually.
And then they can have a tag team, or it's during this introduction of like the heel Mickie James, and she's attacking Ember, and then Beth gets off of commentary, goes up and like pulls her off and is like, what are you doing? Like, or like on commentary during this whole bit, like you could have Vic, and you could have Vic and Wade Barrett kind of being like, what's gotten into the mind of Mickie James? And then Beth Phoenix is like, I have no idea. Mickey's usually been a person to welcome in people.
A mentor.
And
like
then that's where she's, and then you can hear Vic being like, Beth, where are you going? And then Beth like goes into the ring and like does the whole like pulls her aside and be like, what are you doing? Like kind of reprimanding her. And then that's where then Mickie like has the wind style in her hand, just bashes Beth in the head with it. And then that's like a whole like, oh my God.
Yeah. I like that way more. Like as much as it's like the running through the division thing, like we do that so much with it, where we just like run through the division of wrestlers. I think like this is great, where this Ember Moon match, it ends and Mickie just wants to inflict even more pain. Like, we get it was me the whole time. And then she puts her arm maybe like, in a chair, and she like stomps on it. And then she's about to like go attack again. And then, exactly. You hear that Vic Joseph thing where it's like, Beth, where are you going? Beth. And you hear the head, you hear like the.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, Beth's heading into the ring.
You hear the headset drop, and then it's like Beth's heading in the ring, and she like turns around. Mickie James is like, "What are you doing?" Like, like this is not you. Yeah, it's like, "It's not you," and then Mickie James just with the women's title, boom,
bam,
knocks down Beth, and it's like,
and then that's where then Rhea runs into the ring to grab Beth and be like and protect her, and then Mickie, heel slithers away, end NXT with the symbol or with the visual imagery of Mickie James standing over,
holding the title, or like holding the title, like we don't need to introduce Rhea yet. I think in the match that happens on NXT TV following this attack, when it's like Mickie James versus Beth Phoenix, I think we get another like really heelish performance from Mickie, and then Rhea can come in and save the day, or we save that, but we don't know yet. But like for all intents and purposes, after this Ember Moon match, yeah, Beth Phoenix slides off commentary, confronts Mickie James, and Mickie James smacks Beth with the title and stands over her, holding it. We get the logo, and that's the end of that episode of NXT.
So then, obviously, the next week you would have this sort of like answer for your, like you got to answer for your actions kind of thing, where I don't know if it's a person or if it's William Regal says that I've suspended Mickie James for 1 week for attacking.
I like that.
A Beth Phoenix NXT commentator gives an update on Beth's injury. And then that's where you could have maybe someone come out to call out Beth, and then, or come out to call out Mickie, and then either Mickie comes back and does something and they have to pull them apart, or you have then another heel come out and like be like, Beth got what she deserved.
Yeah, I like that. I think
so. You could have like, who's a good face?
This scenario would probably be who's a good face in NXT? I guess Shotzi is probably like the best face for this, where it's like she comes out and she's like, I saw the way that you acted in the Elimination Chamber match. I look up to you. I looked up to you, and you have to answer.
It would make a lot. It would be really, really easy to say that Rhea comes out and says that, because obviously Rhea definitely looked up to Beth as the Glamazon, because look at her style. It matches, so it really makes sense that would be a thing. It could, like, that's the easiest thing, is like comes out and says that, and then like maybe like Dakota Kai comes out and is like Beth got what she deserved, and then they have a match, and then Mickie comes back and attacks Rhea and like injures her, and officials have to come out and pull her out, and because she's not supposed to be there.
Yeah. Do we want to go easy though, is my question.
Yeah, I mean,
do we save it for Rhea coming to like Beth's literal defense, like after her and Mickie wrestle? Because I think this is just like this would be like a build-up filler type thing.
Yeah.
Where like Shotzi would call out.
So then Shotzi calls her out.
Yeah.
This could then lead to a title match between Shotzi and Mickie, where Mickie retains.
Exactly.
Like,
and then like
the week after
Kai is involved because they were in the Elimination Chamber match, so it makes sense.
It's also just a heel thing of maybe they have a mini feud going on, or like even Candice is a good person to come out and is like, because Candice and Shotzi have their feud going on right now, and while we're recording this, so it's like you could have then one of the two of them, they're both good heels for this moment of just coming out and being like, Beth got what she deserved. And then they have a match. And then Mickie comes in and attacks Shotzi, and they have to pull them apart. And because Mickey's not supposed to be there, and that's where then it's a title match announced for the next week of Mickie defending against Shotzi, where Mickie comes out on top. And it's kind of like the question is like, can anyone like topple Mickie James on this run of being the top of the women's division in NXT?
So I think then after the Shotzi title shot, Mickie James is like looking to injure Shotzi. Like this will be a part of her heel antics. So maybe she'll like put a chair in like the center of the ring and like set up to be, or she'll maybe hit Shotzi with like a Stratisfaction onto like a chair. Then return of Beth Phoenix is at the end of that match, I think. I mean, I know it's like really overbooked, but like that's what we do here at Book and Vince.
It's also what WWE does, so it's fine.
We just overbook the shit out of these things.
Yeah.
But it makes it more interesting, I think, that so Shotzi came out to defend Beth's honor, so it's only fair that after Shotzi's been beaten down by Mickie James, that Beth's had some time to recover, and she has to come back and confront Mickie James. So she comes out and attacks Mickie James, and then that sets up the future match between Mickie and Beth for the title.
That would be crazy.
Yeah.
It's like I don't even think like having it as a title match, that would be crazy. But I don't even think it would be I think it would end up just being like a brawl like match of just like, I don't want to say putting into like a hardcore street fight or something like that, just because
we do it all the time.
Do it all the time because it's easy, because then you can manipulate it in some way of like having someone come in and fuck with the match or whatever. But it's literally what WWE does, because it makes everything easier. It's easy to explain. Oh, then Dakota Kai comes out and helps Mickie James, blah,
blah. Heels, blah.
Because they can't leave anything just the way it should be. They always have to get involved.
Yeah.
But no, I think maybe it then gets to instead it gets to a point where it's like Beth challenges Mickie. Maybe it's like, okay, yeah, Beth comes out and saves Shotzi, attacks Mickie. Mickie runs off. Maybe then the next week there's no match yet, but then it's preparing for the match of where Beth challenges Mickie. Beth hasn't wrestled in a few years. Mm-hmm. Is she up for the challenge? And it's this thing of like, maybe Beth gets interviewed and it's like, do you think that you're ready? And she says, I don't care if I'm ready. Someone needs to shut that bitch up. And she's
Beth
like,
Phoenix is getting spicy.
Oh yeah, and it's like, if she really thinks that she can come here and take on all these amazing women who are going to be the future of this company and try to, then I will step up and do whatever I can to help show that NXT is the future, and that these women need the chance to do that. And if I have to defend my honor, defend their honor, defend NXT's honor, I will get the NXT championship back from Mickie.
Yeah, it's like,
and if she has any guts, she'll put it on the line against me.
Yeah, I think that's a good move to have Beth Phoenix like cut a super face promo where it's like, Mickie, you think you can come down to NXT in the twilight of your career and disrespect the future of the women's division, the future of women's wrestling like this? Mm-hmm. I'm not going to let that stand. You're trying to end brilliant careers before they even start. And that's not something I can let happen. So if you, it's like, if you respect me, if you've ever respected me, you'll put up that title and let me show you what like a real icon does, a real legend, mm-hmm. or something like that. And then we get the match following. This would probably be a takeover. It would be a takeover match. It would be Mickie James versus Beth Phoenix for the title.
Yeah. And it could just be a very clean finish.
I think it has to be.
Where's Rhea Ripley in all this, though?
I think Rhea has to step up after Beth is defeated, not immediately after, but like.
Right. But this is like a month into it. Where has she been? you know, where has she
This
been?
episode is more booking an NXT title run for Mickie James than it is Mickie James versus Rhea Ripley.
But where is she in this? Because she got eliminated by Mickie.
Yeah.
Maybe then just to go back and retroactively do something, maybe the night of NXT after Rhea also got attacked.
Like the night,
like the NXT, the NXT after the Elimination Chamber.
Yes. Okay. Sure. Because then that puts Mickie.
It's still this. We don't know who attacked Ember Moon.
Yeah.
And then maybe it's the speculation of, did Mickie James also attack Rhea Ripley?
Yeah, that also plays into this, like, Mickie James coming down to the division to ruin these women's chances of like becoming legends like her. And that plays into this Beth Phoenix promo where she's like, you think you can come here and end these careers before they even start? This is selfish.
And so then, and maybe in this month, there is a thing of like, we still are unaware of the medical condition of Rhea Ripley.
Yeah.
We've been told that she's unable to compete.
Yeah.
And then she's off TV for a month to come back and save Beth.
I don't know if it's immediately to save Beth, because we already like pretty much did that like the last booked episode, right?
Yeah, I mean, but it's this takeover match of Mickie and Beth. Mickie wins, and maybe it's I think she wins clean.
Yeah, I think she wins clean.
But then what has Mickie been doing this whole time is she attacks people after their matches. And after this whole thing that Beth said, the obvious thing is for her to be like, I proved you wrong. I'm going to shut you up for real and make you never be able to wrestle ever again.
Yeah, puts her head in like a chair, like for a concerto or something fun like that.
I mean, it's just like repeatedly doing the same thing that she's been trying to do to everybody else. And then, yeah, it makes sense to, I mean, the real heel heat would be to have her do it.
And Rhea not be able to get there in time.
And then, well, it's like you could have her attempt to do it and then get stopped, because on a pay-per-view like that, having Rhea Ripley return would be great, but also getting the real heel heat of Beth Phoenix having to get like carted out. And then on the NXT after the takeover, having Rhea Ripley return then too, it's like, will Mickie James answer for her actions? Like they play those like promo packages, like being like showing what she did on the takeover, like the catastrophe that was beating Beth Phoenix and then like sending her to the hospital.
Yeah, that's how it should. Yeah, I think I agree with that.
And then Rhea shows back up after a month of being off TV on NXT to get revenge
for Beth. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because like we would be repeating ourselves too much if it was just like after the match somebody comes in, after the match someone comes in. I think this time nobody is there to save Beth, and it's like it's so soul crushing, because it's like she wanted to be the protector of the division, and like there is literally like nobody left to be able to like help Beth, and it should be a concerto. Like she puts her head in the chair and has another one and just and it's like no it's like, what about her family?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it would just make Mickie look like a monster.
Yeah.
And so then it's like, it's like we're in the darkest hour. Who is going to be the one to step up and do this? And it's like, and then Rhea makes her return.
That's great. Okay, so then following the Beth Phoenix Mickie James match, we go to NXT TV, and Mickie James cuts her scathing promo about how there's nobody left to beat her Nobody
Yeah.
came out to save Beth Phoenix. If you
And I
really
guess-
cared about her so much, you would have, come to aid this legend.
And then I guess like she's just gonna hold on to the championship forever.
Yeah, and that's when we hear CFO's "My Brutality, My Brutality."
Great song. Great
and
song.
and Rhea Ripley runs it full speed, absolutely just sprinting down the laneway, the straightaway, the stretch.
Mickie, she should just like get out of there. Mickie should not even try to confront her. She just
runs like through the crowd, just to avoid it. And I think this begins.
And you gotta have Rhea Ripley just in the middle of the ring, just yelling and screaming like, "I'm gonna get you,
face me!"
Yeah, like I'm gonna be your nightmare, Mickie.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay. Right. Okay. So that happens, and we gotta go.
Well, so then, how do we then get Mickie versus Rhea in a match?
Okay, I think because there's nobody left to challenge, we have to go, and I think Regal books like a number one contender match on the following NXT TV following week. Okay, so who are the heels that we have that we didn't use?
Candice.
Yes, Candice. Okay,
Candice LeRae is a good one.
Candice versus Rhea. Oh, and Io, we forgot to even like give her a rematch.
Oh yeah,
she didn't invoke her rematch clause. So let's make it a triple threat for number one contender, and it's Io Shirai versus Candice LeRae.
Io after could have then gotten into like a mini rivalry with like someone else, maybe like Candice, maybe like a mini rivalry just on the side of like she also could have been injured in a way, and then it kind of built this mini feud in this month of her trying to get back up to the NXT championship, and so this is the perfect place for them to have that.
Yeah, and this might be like if we pretend that in our universe, Io Shirai finally graduates to the main roster to be misused and misbooked. Misused and misbooked.
Right. Yeah. This could be a good send off.
Yeah. She could like go off the top rope and like try to hit a moonsault onto Rhea Ripley, and it's like knees up and then into the finish, the reverse cloverleaf thing.
Yeah, I don't know what it's called.
I could look it up, but I'm not.
Yeah.
But yeah, she gets, maybe that's it, and then she submits Io Shirai, or we do that classic spot where it's like she doesn't tap, she just passes out, and that protects Io for the main roster run that she's gonna have, and Candice LeRae is still just doesn't take the pin.
So
around.
All right, so now we got I just lost my train of thought. Okay, now it's Rhea Ripley is number one contender. Boom.
Yes.
What could be really good, right? Because now this is kind of like you got Rhea Ripley like really coming after Mickie.
Yeah.
And Mickey's been this like super pompous, confident heel, but now you have this like force that like literally their only interaction so far was that Rhea thought that she was going to be like have an equal partner in the Elimination Chamber with Mickie. Yeah. And then Mickie turned on her, and that's the only thing that's happened. Yeah. So now maybe it's like that the reason why Mickie did that is because she was vulnerable. She knew that she was her biggest threat. And so now it's like now it's like chicken shit heel, like trying to get away and like postpone the match as long as they could. And maybe it does end up as a TV match, but then like Mickie like does something to get out of it, like gets herself disqualified or like gets herself counted out in some way. Yeah.
I think she'll have a couple of different, this is a good way to build it up, is that Regal books like them to face each other and for Mickie to put up the title, and like the first match she just like comes down and then immediately just steps out of the ring, gets counted out, takes the belt, runs away. The next one Yeah, she. Maybe we could get like a classic, the Eddie Guerrero chair, hit with the chair, toss the chair to Rhea. Rhea's holding the chair. The ref is just like, "What the hell? What are you doing?" And then Mickie,
"What you doing with that chair?"
Yeah, what are you doing with it? And then she retains again. And finally, I think it makes the most sense for William Regal to just be like, "Mickie, you can't run away anymore. We're putting you inside of a steel cage."
That's good.
And no matter who wins, or no matter what the way they win is, like the winner leaves with the belt at the end of that. And that is at NXT TakeOver, like Brooklyn 4 or whatever, you know. Like it would be probably the main event or like the co-main event.
Yeah, that'd be really good. And so then you have like you have like Mickie James doing her DDT off of like jumping off of the top rope into it and like spiking Rhea Ripley, and that looks bad. It looks like she's definitely gonna like win, but like Rhea manages to kick out, and it's like like super shocker of Mickie James. Like it's just leading this thing of like Rhea is obviously overpowering her, but Mickie is finding ways of being able to cut her down and managing to make her own, and obviously pulling like some heel tactics of like pulling hair, eye pokes, like that sort of stuff.
Yeah. And I think the chick kick gets reversed into the
submission
reverse cloverleaf thing. And then we got to pull just like the classic. It's a classic spot now because it's happened, I think, more than once. But the ending of the match, I think, is an avalanche riptide from the top rope.
Yeah.
And it just like flattens Mickie James, and it's 1, 2, 3.
And then there you have a great ending moment of Rhea Ripley climbing to the top of the cage, just holding the NXT Women's Championship.
Yeah, exactly. And then Beth Phoenix is back on commentary, just clapping. And just like, great job, Rhea.
Yeah, bringing it back home.
Yeah. Because that illustrates like this is the future generation winning against this legend who came back to try to stop her legacy from being tarnished by all of these female wrestlers who are better or who have greater potential.
Right. I like it.
Boom.
I love it.
Bada boom. Longest feud in the room. How you doing?
I think that's a great one. I mean, like, yeah, like Mickie James is no joke, has never been no joke. I mean, she was always like such a great performer.
Yeah, great wrestler.
Had some fun storylines. Also had some weird storylines, but like deserves like that chance to be like the like kind of like really confident monster heel sort of thing of like just coming in and destroying people, but then like kind of like what could have been of like the Charlotte run, I guess, of the NXT Women's Championship, but like didn't really last that long.
Yeah.
Probably just because they just wanted the ratings to go up.
Yeah.
But
yeah, like Mickie has been amazing, and like I mean, I saw this Reddit post that kind of was a long GIF of the evolution of Mickie James, and like yeah, she's like done a lot of like even intergender matches, like hardcore matches. She's a legend. So having that last run for her, I think, is really important, and she gets to like do everything, right? Like it's she got to like, you know, put her promo skills to use, her like character. She got to be a dominant force in ring, and then we kind of like pass on the baton to Rhea Ripley. Which is how Rhea should have been booked. Unfortunately, that didn't really happen, but
future Hall of Famers for sure.
Yes.
But there we go. You were gonna say something?
No, I just said that's it.
That's it. Yeah. So let us know how you would have booked Rhea Ripley versus Mickie James. And now I just really want to see NXT Women's Elimination Chamber match.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Also, like, let us know, like, how you would book a final Mickie James title run.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Whether that be on Raw, on SmackDown, or in NXT like us.
There you go. Let us know. So now we're going into the end of the podcast, first with our viewer questions. If you want to submit questions, of course, you can leave a comment on the video version of the podcast. You can reply to our tweets or Instagram stories where we ask for questions, or you can simply just send us a question at any time on our website, UnknownErrorFilms.com/Book It Vince. Send us a fun, weird, wacky question, like today's question, which when I read this, I know it's just a certain person being wacky and sending us a wacky question, but let's see if we can make something out of this. Anyways, this question comes from one of our community members from our Twitch page. She's also a mod on our Discord and sent us this on our Instagram. Emily asks, which two wrestlers would not surprise you if they made out mid-match? Definitely let's see what kind of shock value we could get.
Would not surprise. I don't know.
All right, I'm gonna put two out there, which would be really funny to see.
Okay.
Would be really funny to see them do it as like a distraction, or as like a storyline moment. Just to be like a moment of like, whoa, what the heck? Okay.
Oh God.
Okay. Breezango.
Yep. Okay. Yep.
Or John Silver and Alex Reynolds.
I was just gonna say that. Okay, this is how I picture this moment. It's I don't know why this would be funny, but it would be the best friends versus John Silver and Alex Reynolds.
Okay.
And they would, I don't know why, but I think maybe they Trent and Trent and Chuck go in for the hug, but they accidentally like kiss, like, because their like heads like just crash into each other.
What if the best friends do it, and then John Silver and Alex Reynolds like try to like mock them?
Yeah. And then they kiss each other, and then they zoom, and then Chuck and Trent like kiss each other harder, and it zooms, and then and then they do it, and then it zooms again. And then finally, like, when maybe it happens one more time, Chuck and John are not Chuck and John. Oh God, this is turning into a fan fiction. Alex Reynolds and John are kissing, and then Trent and Chuck like kick them in the face, like in the final thing. Or Orange Cassidy like jumps off the top rope and just like breaks up the kiss, and that's how that would work.
Oh, Jesus.
That's a legitimate comedic moment that probably would happen.
I just can imagine then like the following storyline on BTE on Being the Elite is like then John Silver and like maybe they like is then this whole thing of like, you guys kissed each other. And it's like, are you guys dating now? What's it going on? And maybe it's like that John Silver and Alex Reynolds are kind of just like, maybe for them, because if you don't watch Being the Elite, one, you should, because it's hilarious. Yeah. And John Silver is one of the funniest things on it. Because it's this like a big thing in the Dark Order is this whole like making fun of the sexual nature of like wrestling in some way, where like John Silver like is this whole thing, like he calls himself the meat man, and he compliments other wrestlers' buffness like way past the point of being like a little bit inappropriate, and like how he hugs 10 all the time and compliments how buff he is, and like it's they just play into this so much, and then it comes to the point where there's like, yeah, we're friends and we kiss. What's the problem?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And then maybe can this
kissy
be this
boy?
Yeah, there's like we're kissy boys.
Yeah, kissy boys.
And then
so
maybe,
yes,
maybe it's this thing of best friends and best friends. They're kind of like maybe they're a little uncomfortable with it, and they're just like, and it's just like, should we talk about what happened? And they're just like, I mean, like we kiss each other, whatever, man. It's like, yeah, whatever, totally.
Yeah, whatever.
But
then John Silver,
do you want to do
kissy boy?
And maybe Chuck's just like, do you want to do it again? and then maybe Trench is like, I don't think we should. And Chuck's like, yeah, I don't think we should either.
I don't think we should either. Yeah.
just glosses over it. But then you have John Silver going around just being like,
he's just like really far in the distance, just yelling, kissy boy.
What a weird friggin' question. I knew as soon as I saw it, I just went, oh God, I don't even know how we're even going to answer this question or what's the ramifications. But I could 100% see John Silver and Alex Reynolds doing it for a bit and then just running with it.
Yeah.
That's funny.
That's really funny. Okay, and that's that. That's that question.
There's not really anything else you can say with that specific one, just because it's like it's unless it was like a romantic thing. Like there's definitely been times where it's like you have a certain wrestler and their like female companion. Like, wouldn't it be wild if Orange Cassidy accidentally kissed Penelope Ford in like their feud right now that's going on with like Miro and Kip Sabian versus the Best Friends? Like, wouldn't it be a wild thing if like that happened in it and it was just that moment? But at the same time, that's kind of against Orange's character in some way. But
yeah, Orange definitely wouldn't initiate it. Like maybe Miro would like push Orange into Penelope Ford.
Yeah,
but like. No, it's not the same as the Kissy Boy match that we.
Oh yeah, no, Kissy Boy, 100%. But
Marty, what's your match recommendation this week?
Yeah, well, I was just about to say, if you want to see two wrestlers kiss, let us know who should kiss. And I'm sure that there is some fan fiction out there already of it happening, or write it and send it to us.
We'll read it,
and maybe we'll read it aloud. Possibly, I don't know if that should be a segment or not.
We will do maybe a crossover episode with our friend's podcast where he reads that I've been on.
Yeah.
Paul JP again. Another shout out to Paul JP. 2 episodes in a row. Where we could read a fan fiction all together. Big time read, big time crossover.
The Dark Order fan fiction.
Oh,
which I'm sure is out there, but I'm also sure could really happen because it's the Dark Order. But there we go. Yes. If you have any other questions that you want to send us to read on the podcast, whether they be like insightful ones about our opinions on wrestling or weird and wild ones like what wrestlers you want to kiss, or what wrestlers you want to kiss, kissy boys,
kissy boy.
Let us know. Send us your questions. And to finish off, yes, Anthony, to finish off our episode, match recommendation. It's my week this week to give you a match recommendation. Mine is simple, but it comes from the fact that while we're recording this episode right after Sting made his debut in AEW. Big deal. Ooh. We don't know what's going to happen. This episode will come out after Sting speaks on AEW, so we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what his intentions are. We don't know what's the point of him being there yet. But it then led me down this sort of hole of then at the same time that just this past week, Ken Robinson, who's a WWE referee, used to be a WCW referee, was on Corey Graves' podcast After the Bell, and he talks about he got to ref the very last Nitro match. So that was the night that Shane McMahon showed up on Nitro. They had bought WCW. They had their very last show. The very last match of WCW Nitro was Sting versus Ric Flair. Whoa. Which, can you believe that?
That's crazy.
And so you can easily find it online. It's on YouTube, actually. And it's a great, simple 10-minute match. Kind of just like this kind of thank you to WCW sort of thing. And it's really funny listening to it now, seeing like 19 years later, almost 20 years later, like where those two went. And the very first thing is Ric Flair comes out and Tony Schiavone is on commentary and he says, "We may never see this man wrestle again." And it's like, but now that you see Ric Flair's like legendary like career after WCW and like going to TNA, coming back to WWE, like all this stuff that then happened afterwards, like, whoa, if they thought in 2001 that he needed to retire,
yeah,
like, and then of course Sting was WCW. And so it's just cool to go back and look at that and be like, it's a very classic Sting versus Ric Flair match. It's very classic. Awesome. So
yeah, I don't think I've seen that. I gotta check that out.
It's really simple. There's nothing too crazy about it, but it's just a very classic, like those two having a wrestling match. And then as soon as it ends, they just embrace, and you can tell it's this thing of them kind of getting emotional about, we don't know what's going to happen to us now since WWE bought us. And obviously we know kind of some things that happen, but it's just a really interesting match to look at now after the fact and what then transpired, and also to see these two legends wrestle, which is cool. So yeah, that's my recommendation.
And now Sting is home again on TNT.
And we don't know what's going to happen. This episode comes up after we kind of start learning about what Sting's going to do on AEW, but we're excited, to say the least. But there we go. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Book It, Vince. Hope you enjoyed it. Anthony, it was a good one. Good dream match.
Thank you.
So if you of course like what we do here, please make sure to follow and subscribe to the podcast and follow Unknown Error online so you can catch all the different things that we do, including our gaming channel where we play video games. Sometimes we stream other content that we do. And you can follow that on Twitter and Instagram at UE_films. You can follow myself, Martin Bennett, at Barton_Bennett.
And you can follow me at Holland Jokes on Instagram and Twitter.
There you go. Thank you so much for listening or watching. Please stay safe out there. Go watch some wrestling. And we'll check you next time. Bye-bye.